Retro Racing reports from Ascot Park. San Diego Racing Association Modifieds were a regular visiting attraction at Ascot Park in the early 60s. As it happens, we have two programs, one from September of 1962, another from October of 1963. The significance of these is they describe the origins and development of modifieds as well as the wing being brought into use on race cars in 1963. All right, here we go. 1962, Ascot Park, San Diego Racing Association, Modifieds. This is a new breed of race car you're watching tonight. These cars out on the track have been developed from the sprint cars you've watched so often here at Ascot Park. They have all the goodies of a thoroughbred racing machine, such as tube frames, open tube rear axles, weight jackers on the front, torsion bar suspensions, disc brakes, fuel injections, the works. There is more power under some of these hoods than the Indy cars have. But there's a difference. Under these neat coupe-type cabs are double alloy steel roll bars. They form a factor of safety for the racing driver that's never been equaled. Perhaps this is why they drive like they do, that extra confidence in those bars that makes them skim the crash wall a little closer or dive into the pole when there doesn't seem to be quite enough room. These super sportsmen have flipped plenty of times. They've gone into the wall and they've tangled with each other, but those roll bars make the difference. Watch them out there. Some of these guys are championship types. Hank Henry and Les Crawford have won main events at the Sprint Cars events here at Ascot. Dick Freeze runs his number 6, both as a sprint and super sportsman. All the LA old-timers know the Fillmore Flash, Rosie Roussel, number 1 on his car means something after all, Harris Mills, the San Diego Jalopy champion, Kenny Lengo, who has the car, the eagerness, and the ability, Carol Button, who likes the high road around, Jack McCoy and Jack Clegg, who both like to sit in the trophy dash and never discount Dave Greenwell, coming up very fast, and Don Ray, who's been a top race driver for years. He's getting even better. Keep an eye on these cars. Some people say they're the race car of the future. They originated here in the Southwest, and now they're drawing capacity crowds all over the United States. That's Indiana, Iowa, New York, Kansas, Pennsylvania, Michigan, North Dakota, you name it. People just naturally like to see drivers keep on racing, not recuperating. These super sportsmen are sponsored, safety checked, owned, and driven by members of the San Diego Racing Association, who very much appreciate your coming to see this show. The history of the modified sprint car began when Milton Brock of Albuquerque entered a Phoenix Jalopy race with an Oldsmobile 88 engine installed in his Ford. The Arizona boys licked their lips, went to work, and by 1956 were running new equipment that was a giant step from the old Jalopies. At the time, the new breed was labeled Full House Specials at a full racing program presented by the Manzanita half-mile track one night when the Full House Specials were running. It was not so much the speeds that fascinated them, although the speeds were approaching those of the sprinters. It was the variety of engines and chassis. There seemed no end to the possible combinations, and there were no limitations on goodies such as injection, mags, etc. All things were legal except the powerful four-banger offies. Hence, the new breed went all out to become the modified sprint cars you see here tonight. These are not the modified stock cars usually called by some modified sportsmen or plain old modified. See, there's nothing new under the sun, but racing fans here on the coast are buzzing it up about the newly innovated wing. The wing, which you'll be viewing here tonight, is just about the most controversial subject to come along, and it exists in most parts of the pits. Some owners curse the day it was thought up, while others hail it as a prop, which is surely to be used in the future of all auto racing. Like many of you, tonight will mark our introduction to the thing. Since the last Modified Sportsman show here, it's become a top subject of discussion wherever and whenever racing fans congregate. Veteran Rosie Roussel, who will pilot Tom Jackson's beautiful buggy tonight, claims he nearly ran his car through the crash wall last time out here when the eventual winner, Jimmy Wood, passed him on a turn en route to the checkered flag. According to Ruzel, Wood went by him so fast he resembled a fugitive missile from Canaveral. So enticed was he by the sight of the fleeing vehicle that he, Ruzel, nearly came face to face with disaster when he suddenly realized that he was just inches away from the boards himself. This was the indoctrination of the wing to West Coast patrons, tonight making its sophomore debut. We saw the finish job atop the cowl of Ben Sanders' Speedy Racer one hot day this summer while the cars were in line to enter the Clovis Speedway. The wing, however, was barred in that meet. Later, we heard that Wood had broken every existing track record with the wing at Phoenix. How does it work? What is its function? Well, let's take the last question first. Its function, it seems, is to hold the car solidly on the track in the turns. It's customary for a driver to take a car into the turn as far as he dares, then back off as he manipulates the vehicle into a broadslide to point and once again punch the throttle coming out. The wing, they tell us, affords the driver the opportunity to take the car some 50 to 75 feet further into the turn than his competitor. No broadslide is necessary since the car gets the necessary bite without crossing up. This, then, is the secret of the gadget. As to how it works, your guess is as good as mine since we know little or nothing about the science of aerial engineering. It's a paradox any way you come to look at it. On paper, it seems that a wing stationed in that position would work the same as an airplane. In short, tend to make the car airborne. But according to those in the know, it works quite the opposite. Sum it up, Wood, employing the wing, is strictly the driver to tab for the winner's circle tonight. Jimmy, winner of the Arizona Championship and adjudged the most popular driver, actually resides in Ramona, California, or longer, and has driven but few shorter tracks this past season. He is a capable chauffeur, possessing a keen sense of timing and distance. It's always been our opinion that Wood would make it big driving any type of racing equipment. Other notable trackside tonight include drivers Dickie Freeze, newly crowned 1962 SDRA champion, Rosie Ruzel, who finished up a few scant points off the total accumulated by the latter, Jack McCoy at the wheel of Major's Torrid Buick Special, and Harris Mills, a veteran who has the knack of being close when the checkered flag is hoisted. Tonight's meet carries the sanction of the San Diego Racing Association, with President Chuck Morris calling shots from the infield. It's being billed as an open competition basis, and seasonal points, therefore, will not be awarded to contestants. Most of the talent you'll be viewing will be via San Diego, and it pretty much goes without saying that the border town lads look forward with eager anticipation to the big tracks such as Ascot. To us, Ascot reigns in a class of its own. Well, hey, it's time to go. I'll see you in the pits.
Hey, this is Harold. Glad you enjoyed that video. Be sure to like, subscribe, share, put your comments down below. There's a lot more where this one came from.